What? I understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Yo. We back at it. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Still black and misunderstood. Typical shit.
Oh, as always, light skinned and highly flavored. You know how we do. Now we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Indie versus matchup on Saturdays with the Super Breakdown, where we break down your Indie versus matchups that have came out throughout the week. That will be the Nexus as well as the Reckoning factions. For those who don't know, Nexus are the indie heroes that are standalone heroes that they do not have their own comic book or story yet. They are just characters that have been created. Reckoning, on the other hand, is a database full of characters that all have and or will have a story that will be coming out soon. So if you're interested in checking out all these characters that we're going to talk about today, check out indiebreakdown.com. Check out their database. It has a list of, I think we did the math. It was like 70 something characters as of right now within a database collectively between Nexus and Reckoning.
Correct.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. I'm Power Maximus. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. Y'all know what's up. Man, have you looked at these characters, bro?
I have.
What you thinking of, Rip? Just over. What you thinking about the characters themselves?
Well, I'm digging the artwork first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely. Like shout out to the artists. Overall, like I don't think there's been one design that hasn't been like fire. Tavis, what's up? Like, let's see. Honestly, right now, the one I'm digging the most is Zillah. I'm digging her art the most right now. That Zillah is on the Reckoning side, which means she does have her own comment as in how do you say it? Ginya Emporium? No, Gehenna. Yeah, Gehenna Imperium. So I'm interested in checking that out and reading that. Nathan, what's up in the building? These are gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. We took a look at the Facebook post. Y'all really wasn't too active underneath the post, which may make it a little more difficult for us. Zillah does have a video breakdown. They do have a breakdown for Zillah, so we will be watching that as well. But no, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. All right, so let's check this out. Let's get into this right here. Let me pull up these power stat cards. Let's pull up. So as always, we're gonna run Nexus first. All right, Nexus first. Let's have some fun. All right, let's see what we got here. First and foremost, we're starting off with Aegis versus Amory. So these characters are pretty interesting alone on their own. Let's see what we got. We got right here. Whew. I'm looking at our power stats off rip. Those are some pretty high numbers right there. I want to know more about these scythes that she got right here. An immortal that wields the weapons and armor of the gods. All right. Idol versus y'all in here? You in here? Yeah, because we got a, and that's another thing. So we talked about it before this. We have a lot of questions regarding like powers for these characters, and just like a stronger definition of what some of these powers are. The names sound awesome, but we're just not understanding what exactly those powers are respectfully in those aspects. At least when it comes to the Nexus characters, the Reckoning characters, these ladies are, it's pretty kind of like kind of self-explanatory in their powers, but Nexus, y'all got some powers in there that seem pretty damn unique, and I'm interested, or very broad. So we're interested. We want to make sure we're giving everyone a fair shake here, and we gonna get it done. Yep, yeah. I my bad, Nathan. I forgot. That's you. But nah, let's get into this. A's here, right? So first off, first question, Nathan, I'm gonna ask you is, and you probably already know, if you look at the powers there, brother, what magic specifically? Like, as first question, offer it, because that's gonna mean a lot. Is that, with that being her own power, is it the sites that are magical, that have the magical property, or is it her herself that is, she herself is magic? You know what I mean? So that's number one question I want to ask. Yeah. Let's see. Amory and Aegis are in the same universe. Any question you have? I'm already. Oh, okay. Okay. So we got. Ain't no way this is a versus of within the same verses. No. All right. Yeah, definitely. So I bet. Cool. We'll ask questions for both. So since you're starting off with Aegis first, yeah, if you could just give us a better, different understanding of what do you mean by magic as her powers? Is it elemental magic? What kind of magic? Because that's going to play an important part. So while you get that together, let's sure, you got any questions as well?
No, that's what I was ready to say. Like, is it black magic? Is it elemental? Is it chaos magic? Like, does it cover all spectrums of magic? Is she immune to other people's magic? Like,
I guess it's also kind of self-explanatory. She's black, and it's going to be black magic either way, no matter what kind of magic it is. It's going to be black magic. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a black woman right here, 30 years old, 5'11". This is a track star right here. This is a track star. Like, come on now. It's definitely black man. But now, so while you get that together, let's break down these power stats. Let's take a look here. So off rip, we're gonna take a look at these good old dots here. The dots. Let's see. She is 2 green. So that means give me 1 second. Pull this up here. So I want to make sure I'm getting it all right for everybody here. 2 green, and it's like a light green. That's nuclear. That's tier 7 nuclear city level destruction. Okay. Mama out here doing city level destruction. I'm with that. She's an immortal that wields the weapons and armor of the gods. All right, we sounded good off rip. So let's take a look off rip at the strength here. The strength here, she's rocking at a 5, which means she can lift between 25 and 75 tons, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head. She's sitting at a 4 in her intelligence, which means she is certainly gifted. Her speed is sitting at a 3. She's superhuman. She's running up to 700 miles per hour, as well as her durability is sitting at a 7, which makes her virtually indestructible. Her agility is sitting at a 4. Superhuman, can dodge bullets from a distance. And then her energy projection is 5. Long range and duration single energy, which it's her magic. And then her fight ability, she is a 6, which means she's a master of several forms of combat. Okay, so not only is she, rocking with the magic, but she also got the hands. That's quite interesting. Her story is soon to come. Let's take a look at this equipment, though. Let's see. Armor of Athena, as well as twin golden sides. I want to know more about these sides. I want to know a lot more about these sides. So I'm interested here. Athena's armor. If you can give us a rundown of Athena's armor as well. Let's see. We have Aesir draws her magic from her Greek, Macedonian, and African Kushite Kismet lineage. From Greece, she inherits from Greece, she inherits divine war magic strategy and Zeus's lightning. From Africa, she gains ancestral spirit magic and protective blessings, fusing both into unmatched godlike power. All right, we got the twin golden scythes, Zeus's lightning, forged from Zeus's original bolt. Aesir's scythes disrupt energy flow. One electrified strike, short circuits, incendiaries heat generation, making brute force unnecessary. Okay, and then armor of Athena. Aesir's divine armor resists both physical and magical attacks. Fire, heat, and even microwaves can't penetrate it. She can walk through flames without flinching. Okay. All right, we got some resistance right there. All right. All right. How do you feel about that triage? I feel like that covers a decent bit. It gives me a
Oh
good
yeah.
understanding.
So she's not only got the destructive force of Zeus's lightning bolt, she has the wisdom of intelligence and the guardianship of Athena's armor. Not only not to mention that she rocking with the ancestors from the motherland who are guiding her in combat also. So that's a pretty powerful force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. And just not to mention, like, their gods of war from each side are a problem. So she's being fueled by the power of, like, the ancient African gods as well, who are, when they go to war, they go to war. And then the Greek god of war, that we already know he a problem. Let's see. Asia was cursed by Greek gods for giving the Trojan Achilles his weakness. Before Achilles was her love interest, because Achilles was a love interest. Okay, okay. She herself isn't magic. She's just learned different spells over the years. Okay, all right, all right. That's pretty solid, pretty solid. All right, now this is I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a good fight. This is gonna be good. Isn't it? I just can't get over the fact 30 years old, 5'11, 200 pounds. Man, if that ain't a woman, I don't know what a woman is.
Yeah,
Come on now.
that's a short stack. That's what that is.
Listen, just because you're 5'18 and above, don't make 5'11 short. 5'11 is tall to me. I'm only like 5'8, 5'9. That's tall to me. That's tall to me. All right. So I don't know. I'm off rip. She sounds like she's stacked. She got a nice background behind her. She's powered by two different god pantheons as well. So I don't know. This definitely should be good. This should be good. Let's move on over here. We have Amory. Let's see. He right off rip, just looking at his numbers. His numbers ain't looking too bad. His numbers is not looking bad at all. Not at all. Let's see. They're matching out of 5 for their strength, which also means he can lift between 25 to 75 tons. Let's see. They are matched in their intelligence as well. Nope, my bad. She's one below. I'm sorry. I think I messed up on that one. Yeah, no, she's good. He's a genius. He's a 5, so he's sitting at a genius. His speed is sitting at a 5, which makes him faster than she is. That he's running subsonic, which is Mach 2 orbital velocity. In the durability, I think I said endurance last time. Durability, she definitely has him matched. She's at a 7, but he's sitting at a 3, enhanced with efficient healing. So he's just doing a little healing. That's all. So he can get hurt. He can get decently hurt. Agility is sitting at a 6, subrelativistic, which means he's dodging at light speed attacks. Okay, so he got her on this one. If I remember correctly, she was sitting at she was sitting at a 4, superhuman, if I remember correctly. So this is going to be interesting. And then they're matching out at the same when it comes to energy projection. They're both sitting at a 5 long range duration in single form and single form energy, with their with his fight skill coming in quite lower than hers at a 3, which means he got some training, which means he's probably going to be relying more so on his powers and abilities. So let's take a look at these and see what we have going here. So for equipment, my man got a super suit, power wise. Now, Nathan, we're gonna ask you again. Yeah, brother, would you be able to break this down? Angular momentum, cellular energy, stockpile, and vision. Angular momentum. Yeah, what is that? And then cellular energy. I'm pretty sure. What is that? He absorbs pretty much absorbs the energy into himself. And I'm pretty sure stockpile means that he can hold it there as well. So I'm interested to see what's going on with that one. That one definitely interests me. So if you can, let's just break that one down. Let us know what it is. And then vision. What do you mean by vision? Is he able to? Is it telescopic vision? Is it precognition, clairvoyancy, or can he just see? Is it just supervision? Oh well, supervision is telescopic vision. It's like heat vision, X-ray vision. Like what kind of vision he got here? What he's seeing? What is he seeing? Let's see. Description: manipulates angular momentum to achieve incredible speeds and flight capabilities. Let's see. Angular momentum. Okay. Oh. We got Elijah in here. Thank you. Welcome to the Indie versus Breakdown. And yeah, so Amory is his character. So he's 23, he's 5'10 and 195. All right, so she got what? She got less than 10 years on him. She got an inch on him, and then she got 5 pounds on him as well. So I'm interested to see how this works. This is gonna be real interesting. Let's see. So I want to bring it over to the battles that we had on Facebook here and take a look at what was said. So not much was said for the secondary battle, which is the reckoning battle, which we're gonna run up next. But a decent bit was talked about when it came to this battle here, specifically about, I believe it was Amory's abilities. I believe so. I'm just gonna pull that up on the screen here, and we can read through that because I feel like that was pretty good. That was pretty good. If I could find it, yeah, here we go. Let's see here. All right, Amory's powers are energy based. And here I'll just share so we all can see here. We have Amory's power is energy based, and his cells can only absorb enough energy before he has to expel it. As its speed is really the only advantage that he has. Because Aesir has lived for a long time, has a lot of fighting experience, which Amory does not have. She's immortal, which Amory is not, and is blessed with the gifts of gods, that being both Athena and Zeus. What I can see happening is Amory observing the energy from her sides. Okay, hold on. Nathan, you went to the man. Can we have a job? Give us a job, man. Give us a job. You start breaking down the whole fight in there. Hold on. All right, let's see. Cellular energy vision. Oh, okay. So cellular energy vision. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not cellular energy. It's supposed to be cellular energy vision. Okay. All right. What we got here? Projects concentrated beams of energy from his eyes, capable of inflicting excruciating pain. Okay. Jeez. Emits beams with temperatures exceeding 10,000 degrees Celsius, igniting every cell in the target's body, causing unbearable agony. Cellular energy stockpile. Description: stores vast amounts of energy within the cell's body, enhancing physical attributes and fueling superhuman abilities. So we were correct on that. Hmm. All right, what you thinking, Triage? What you thinking?
That was a lot to take in.
Yeah, that was a lot.
So far, the question I'm going to ask is, what is going to be his best defense?
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, as far from what I'm gathering, they're pretty evenly matched. But I mean, he doesn't seem like he has a defense against a weapon.
I mean, besides the energy absorption,
But
yeah,
but and see, this is one of the reasons why. But that, like, her weapons are powered by a supernatural force.
mm-hmm.
And so, it's like,
I think all it is like, you know, the more he gets hit with that power, whatever the energy may be, you know, it's not saying that, oh, like he just because no matter what it is, you know, it still creates energy. You know, it still takes energy to create that power or ability. So it seems like he absorbs that energy from that attack, which would end up. So he's not absorbing the power itself. He's not absorbing the magic itself. He's absorbing the energy that is created by the magic, thus making it, you know, pretty much void to him. You know, like he gets hit with the magic, but there's no energy behind it, so it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hit him. You know what I mean? Unless it was a magic that would, like, you know, that is like to grab him and, like, you know, contort his body like fucking Stranger Things and snap him around and shit like that. But yeah,
but the energy is still a direct result of a supernatural being or a deity. So it's like, regardless of the fact, okay, he can absorb energy, but it's like it still has not a I don't want to say supernatural. It has a godlike resonant to it. So it's like, that's like saying if Sebastian Shaw got hit with a sword of an archangel, like he's taking that blow. So it's like, I mean, we've seen people get hit with the Mjolnir, but it's like if Thor threw it as hard as he could, let's see who's getting back up.
No, that's a solid point. I think it also may be about how that energy is directed as well. So like you brought up with the Archangel sword and Sebastian Shaw, he wouldn't be able to absorb that because it's not an energy blast at him. It's a physical attack. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, doesn't she wield scythes?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, but I'm pretty sure the scythes can project. Like, I mean, if I created her, I would have the scythes be able to project lightning as well. Let's run back up. Let's run back up here because he broke down the sides too. He broke down the sides. So they were forged from Zeus's original bolt. They disrupt energy flow and one electrified strike. Short. Okay, so yeah, it seems like it's. So yeah, it seems like they're more. It's more so like if you hit, it's like getting tased by Zeus.
But even then, you're getting tased by Zeus. All right. The average stun gun uses about 20 to 15 volts electricity. An electric chair excuse me. The average stun gun uses 10 to 15. An electric chair uses 23. So think about that for a second. The 23,000 volts of electricity can kill you. So that's some shit that's not only Olympian steel, which is forged by a god or demigod from one of the most powerful weapons in creation. It also allows to tap into a god's power and channel the god's power through said weapon. Now that's making that a little bit harder for him to absorb that energy. I don't care what he says.
Yeah, I believe I believe it. I think it would definitely rock him. But I believe
Right.
he'll be able to absorb it because because I think that would be a durability check right there.
Right. And my thing is like, all right, so he, like you said, if he himself states he has to dispel the energy, how many times can he get hit before it destroys him or he blows up?
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, at the same time, he has the eye blast as well. So he's able to redirect. He can redirect that honestly almost immediately. Not immediately because he's gonna be hurt. But I agree that amount of power might overcharge him. But again, that also then gives him a ridiculous amount of energy to dispel. So that that godlike blast coming right back at her would also would that would hurt. That would definitely hurt. But again, because her durability is at a 7.
What's his
That's
at?
different. His is at a 3. He has enhanced healing.
Yeah, see, there's no way. And then here's the other thing too. Like we're just talking about the energy aspect of this. The weapon itself is forged and modeled after the Zeus's Thunderbolt. Zeus's Thunderbolt's Olympian steel. That's like him getting hit with Udu or vibranium. Like, you know what I mean? That's not like a regular metal he's getting hit with.
Nah. Yeah. Let's see. The lightning is elemental in nature, making it a natural energy source. Amory could absorb. It would probably drain him immensely because of how powerful the energy is, but he could absorb it. And like we said, he's like, he'd have to expel it like quickly, like immediately.
Oh, so all she'd have to do is rapid fire him with lightning. That's it. You played God of War. Remember the way Kratos threw those lightning bolts?
Yeah. But now that also depends on how often she can do that attack. Because that's an attack of immense power.
But it's not stated that she has a limitation of how she can do it.
Yeah, I think that would go into the energy projection level there too.
So what's her sitting at? Let's go back.
They're both sitting at a 5, I believe. Yeah, both their energy projections are sitting at 5, which is long range and duration.
Okay, but
yes,
I would say he loses that because of his durability, though, because he's not going to be able to physically withstand the actual blow of the metal, and then he's going to tire. His energy reserves are going to not be able to withstand that if he doesn't expel it immediately. So she can rapidly attack him with energy, and he can't if he can't dispel it quick enough.
But here's the thing. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I just realized this. I'm looking at their speed too. So the speed, she's at a 3. She's only moving 700 miles per hour. Him, on the other hand, he's sitting at a 5. That let's see, what was 5 again? 5 for speed. He's subsonic, so he's moving at Mach 2 orbital velocity. His agility, he's dodging at light speed. He's dodging light speed attacks. While her agility is only sitting at a 4, which is superhuman. So she's dodging. She can only dodge bullets from a distance, like something like bullets from a distance. And her speed, like I said, she's only running 700 miles per hour. So I think his speed aspect, he definitely has a speed aspect. So I was like, yeah, she could take him out with multiple hits, but it's about now, can she hit him?
I mean, hurling lightning, because you figure you'd have to be moving about 700 miles per hour to avoid a bolt of lightning. But if she's throwing multiple ones, like I don't know. That's one of those ones, like you said, it's gonna come down to who. My whole thing is, like, from what I'm seeing with this fight, is that it's more leaning towards her, and it's if he can if he can withstand the barrage that he's about to give her. Because even if he runs and dodges, like some point in time, he has to attack. Otherwise, this is a stalemate. So so let's say he goes on the offense. What is he doing to her offensively to the point where he's going to win the fight?
So his strength is they're evenly matched in strength wise. They're both hitting out of 5. They're both hitting out of 5. They're both sitting at a 6 with their martial arts skill, with their fighting as well. So they're both masters of multiple forms of combat. So I feel like he can get hurt. She pretty much can't get hurt. So in a situation, I feel like this is how it's gonna go. So for him to win, he's gonna have a knock. He has to knock her out. He has to make it, or he has to neutralize her, make her unable to continue to battle. For her, she can kill him. He can most certainly die. And again, so now I feel like the question is, let's see. Hold on, we got some more comments down here. Elijah said it would also be a tricky thing for her because of how faster he is than her. But her fighting experience would be her advantage as well. He's also faster than the speed of light. So he'll be able to dodge the lightning bolts. But again, like he just said, I feel like it's still leaning in on her side. And I feel like the only things that are really making this lean to her side is that immortality as well as her durability.
Well, let's not forget the suit of armor she's wearing.
No, yeah, Athena's armor as well.
That's
Athena's armor.
She's got a godlike weapon with godlike armor. And then it's like, all right, so even then, so close quarters, he's screwed.
Did we get a rundown of the suit? What makes his super suit super? What's super about the super suit? Since you're right, we're talking about what they're wearing. We've been on the site thing for a minute. Forgot about they actually wearing clothes. So armor of Athena. That's self-explanatory. That's self-explanatory. We get that. But what makes his suit super? What's interesting about his suit? Because that I feel like that's also that can also win in his favor. Again, right now it is still in her favor. Still most definitely in her favor right now. But it's not a straight walk him down. She's not walking him down. He got some work that he can give her. So I'm just interested in this super suit at this point. But again, she has the age on him. She has the years of experience on him. She has the strength on him, as in like just the abilities in which she wields with the size and the power of the gods. That's gonna definitely make that difficult for him. But it's definitely still weighing on her side. Again, I just want to make sure we're covering all bases. Because remember what happened the other episode. We saying that, oh yeah, this person going completely destroy this person. But then when we really started breaking it down, when you took that extra second to look at it, we were like, oh, actually no, it's the other way around. Damn, I can't remember what battle that was. I think it was like two battles ago, and it was definitely like 2 battles ago. So Amory's suit is made out of a Exium blend, which is an nth metal. But depending on heat or how much energy it is, it could be mailed it through. Sorry. But it would take a lot of energy. Like she would have to wear it down throughout the fight. Melted through. All right, so it can be melted. It's nth metal. And depending on if she really hits him with enough electricity, it could melt through. It could go through his suit.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So he manipulates energy, but he's wearing a suit of metal.
Nth metal. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what gives him the flight ability.
But my thing is that metal is a conductor for electricity.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a giant suit of it, and she's throwing lightning bolts.
But it's nth metal as well. You know, nth metal has different properties. Look at the way Shire wields it. She's able to generate electricity through her mace. You know what I'm saying? So it depending on how it is being used. And that's the thing that I've always found interesting about nth metal, and when nth metal is being used, it truly really depends on how it's being used. Because Shira, she has it made into a mace. It gives her ability to fly, but then she also has wings. So it's like, is it the wings that are making her fly, or is it the nth metal in her mace that's making her fly?
No, that's a continuity issue.
Yeah, exactly. But then she's able to conduct electricity through it. What about the mace? Well, what makes the mace electrified? Is it the nth metal that's electrifying it? It's rocking through. But then when it comes to, when it came to the Justice League when they wore it, didn't it make them immune to magic? That's the reason why they were wearing it in the first place, to be able to fight Batman Who Laughs.
I've never read that story.
Yeah.
But yes, nth metal does disrupt magic. That is true.
Yeah, so I think I definitely think that may give him an upper hand as well. If metal does have the property to disrupt it, but
I don't know. See, like, this is why I said this is getting a little weird with the wording, because being powered by a deity and magic are not the same thing. So it's like, I mean, if she goes to use her spells or whatever the case may be, as far as that goes, she yelling Avada Kedavra. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. But like I said, a close quarters fight, I still think she's taking it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, and as far as like I said, I'm still not hearing like offensively where he's getting the W from.
Let's see here.
Because he hasn't got past her weapon yet. He hasn't got past her armor yet. Like, he's faster, all right, but it's like, if he can't use his speed with his offense.
Yeah, I mean, she may be she's virtually indestructible, right? That's what that was. Virtually, virtually indestructible. But I'm pretty sure she get hit with a 75-ton punch that's moving at Mach 2. It's gonna do some damage. It's gonna hurt. So again, and then with his agility, with him moving, but he's able to dodge light speed attacks. So dodging light speed attacks while also being able to move at Mach 2 orbital velocity, as well as being a master of multiple forms of combat. Yeah, that punch is gonna send her on her ass. Again, but his thing, the thing that he needs to do in this battle is that he's not KOing. There's no KOing there's no like deading. He's not deading her. There's no way he's fucking deading her. But what he can do is I'm pretty sure moving that fast, he can knock her out. But again, now that experience is coming into play there. And I think she wins out when you combine all her abilities with that level of experience. Not to mention she's also sitting at a 4, which is,
when you say experience, you mean like her actual battle experience? Because don't forget, she's an avatar for a war god.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly why I brought that up as well. But let's not forget that wait, it's just she's sitting at a 4. She's gifted. And then what was he at? What was he sitting at?
If
Oh,
anything, that
he's
could be a
he's
little
at a
higher.
5. He's a genius. He's sitting at genius level. He's sitting at a 5. So there's a large gap between gifted and being gifted and being a genius. So even though she has that battle experience, he may be able to outsmart her. So we would be looking for him to combine these multiple forms. Him being, I'm pretty sure he can take at least one good shot. You know what I mean, and be able to keep moving. I feel like if she was to catch him again, back to back with no time, she's winning. Let's see tomorrow. Let's see. I was in the serum in a comic book universe called MDT, which basically changed his physiology, making his body a bit more hollow, allowing plus a cellular energy storage, which gives him his powers. The suit is just extra. All right, so making his body a bit more hollow. Now that's interesting. So, with his body being a little more hollow, does that mean is that less organs? Is that bone density being lessened? What does that look like? Is it because when we talk about a being hollow, we can probably look at birds in the way that their bones are. They have a lot of birds, they have hollow bones that makes them lighter and allows them to fly.
That was a thing with Warren Worthington, the third Archangel.
Yep.
Now, because but that's also one of those things where the healing factor might balance that back out. But how does that work exactly? Are we talking, like you said, is this hollow bones for a bird for a specific reason, or are we talking like full on Elijah Price, Mr. Glass type shit, Derek Roseney?
Oh, okay. So it says, so it's like it's like Angel. Hollow bone structure like a bird, but also reinforced by the serum. So it's hollow bone, but the bone is also stronger, which is interesting. The structure is just how he's able to fly. It's reinforced because of serum. So he still has his durability, but his physiology changed so he can fly. All right, so that more so just helps with his ability, with his flight ability. Okay. Now can she fly? I know flight really isn't something that can normally really change the outcome of a battle a lot of the times. But
That
flight,
depends. That depends on the fight.
it
Shit,
does.
taking the high ground in a firefight makes a hell of a difference.
Nah, absolutely. But I feel like him being able to fly also makes him a fucking target for a lightning strike.
Very true. And then the other question I want to ask is like, can even if he can fly, never mind, because they say her weight. Because I was going to ask, does the armor affect her weight?
Actually, they'd say her weight, like her physical weight. Because when you get
Yeah,
weighed, they're not taking into account the clothing you're wearing.
you're
So
right. That's my thing. Because it's like if she's wearing a Greek armor, like that's like I said, if it's like lifting Thor's hammer where the armor's enchanted, could he lift it?
yeah. But I feel like in a situation like that, I'm pretty sure it has the ability. It's pretty much going to be weightless. It's going to be as if she can't, as if she's not wearing anything. To her, I can already see that. To me, it's kind of like, all right, a god bestowed the armor on you. It's going to be weightless. It's enchanted for you. But I
Yeah,
bet you $100 if you take it off, they're not going to be able to pick that up, right?
like look at the dark saber.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So for her, yeah, no, never mind. So I just, yeah, forget about that. Yeah, that's her weight. That's her weight. That's probably what she's moving at. That the armor pretty much just makes it is just an extra layer of protection at this point. From what I'm seeing. Wait, hold on. They did break down the armor. Does he? Give me a sec. Got to go back up to the top. So let's see. Again, the armor resists both physical and magical attacks. It resists it, so it's not immune to it. It's resistant. So after a little while, you can get through. So fire, heat, microwaves aren't penetrating it. They're not getting through it. So she can walk in. She can walk through flames. So I'm pretty sure if he was to redirect a good eye beam of her lightning back at him, and not to mention him doing that while moving at Mach 2. So let's say she hits him with a lightning strike, right? He absorbs it, and again, he needs to expel that quickly. But again, he's dodging light speed attacks. He's dodging, my bad. He's dodging attacks at light speed. So he's moving at light speed, dodging the attack. Or does it mean that either way, he's moving at light speed when he dodges. He's moving at Mach 2 when he moves. He'll be able to close the gap between where he is and where she is and expel all that energy right in her face. Before she even knew what happened. And again, he's sitting at a genius level intellect as well. So pretty much he's sitting at the same level of intellect as Barry Allen.
But Barry's whole thing is like not only is Barry creative, Barry is an extremely fast thinker, and he can improvise on the fly. So all right, but like once again, like you said, so there's too many variables between what can happen and what can't happen. Like so, all right, he can expel the energy and throw it back at her at point blank range, but he's also got to get hit by it first, get close enough to her to use it while not getting killed, and then blow her away with it.
Moving at light speed.
But sure, okay, he's moving at light speed, but it's also one of those things like where she's in an armor enhanced by a goddess of war that is for a goddess of war. She's already manipulating lightning. And it's like I said, that might just come down to who's more creative to, all right, I'm going to get hit, close the gap, and let loose this energy. But it's also one of those things like where who's to say that the armor can't withstand that energy? It already channels it.
That's true. But now I'm pretty sure the armor is not like, doesn't.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure the armor doesn't protect her face.
It's not the armor. It's well, we don't know what the armor. Oh wait, yes, we do. We don't know what the armor looks like. Well, yes, we do. I'm looking right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all right. I mean, so even then, he'd have to hit her point blank range in her face. That's the so you're telling me that's so far the only way he's winning this fight?
Point blank range. So there's that. Let's see. So they say Nathan says that she can die, but she'll come back, like old guard style.
Listen, man, she's won. I'm done talking about this.
I feel like the probability in now at this point, I feel like we ran through everything with right now. So I feel like probability wise, if we were to weigh it out, yeah, she's rocking on it's on her side. It's definitely on her side. Ronnie, what's up? What's up? Ronnie is in the building. Ronnie creates of Radical Comics. Dongala. Yeah. Yes. So Amory and Ace here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with that. I feel like we exhausted every option. I feel like it's looking like there's only one route for Amory to take to win. As of at least right now. Again, these characters are definitely still growing. he definitely ain't no slouch at all. But in this situation, I feel like Aegis is taking it based off that experience and having more ways of attacking available for her. Absolutely not, absolutely, man. And again, rematches do happen.
Yeah.
So I definitely think this leans in her favor. I think she's taking the dub on this one. Um, again, like there's only one way that he's taking her out. With her, there's about 4 or 5 ways for her to take him out, even though he does have the intellect over her as well. I feel like she's moving with that sheer strength. You know what I mean? Again, he gets hit with that bolt with one bolt. He may be able to dodge a light speed, but he's also dodging, lightning, which moves at, light speed, moving at light speed. So yeah, man, Aegis got this one. Man, that I found that interesting. I just wanted to make sure that we were really diving in and looking at all the possibilities, especially after that, like I said, that last one that we did where all 3 of us, me, you, I think it was the last one that Lloyd was on with us. Me, you, and Lloyd we were all like, yeah, nah, he's taking it. But then I looked a little bit deeper and I was like, hold on, what about this? What about that? What about that? Yes, so Ronnie Amory, he does have the speed advantage over her. Or let's see, she's got that lightning to hit him. Honestly, he does have that speed advantage over her naturally, but again, when it comes to the lightning, it's just yes, it was Fune and Nomad. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. So we definitely had to look at this. And again, look what we uncovered. It wasn't just a drag out on her side. It was definitely a situation where he can do something, but is that something enough? As opposed to what she's taking. So yeah, no, yeah, definitely ace here on this one. She's definitely taking this one. I don't know. So what are your final thoughts on this battle?
I like the matchup. I think it was solid, but like I said, there are just too many things that work in her favor that are just not going to alter the outcome, because it's like she dies, she's going to come back to life, and it's like you can't kill her the same way repeatedly, so it's like.
No, you're absolutely right. But I feel like if he was to kill her, that would be a dub for him.
But no, because all right, if I killed you and then you come right back to life, the fight didn't end.
I mean, if I killed you and then I run away at Mach 2, the fight's over. The fight's over. I killed you and then ran away at Mach 2. We're not fighting no more. You're dead and I'm gone. Yeah, we not fighting no more.
Yeah, all right. Listen, I'll go full Red Dead with this shit, nigga. I'll jump servers, catch your ass. I'm taking that super personal.
But Lloyd does make a good point. He does say like if she dies, even though she can come back, it's a dub. It's a dub. But he says unless it's like she dies and comes back instantly, that's a different story. But like if she dies and she downs and she needs some time to come back, like have you seen the movie on Netflix called The Old Guard where Charlize Theron?
They just announced the sequel.
But just announced, man, it comes out in another month.
Yeah, like I said, they just announced the sequel. And that's something else I want to touch on real quick, because this whole thing with advertisements for shit as of late has been really weird. Like, have you noticed that there's been no advertisement for Ironheart
until literally 2 days ago?
And it's like, but it comes out in a month.
Yep. And they're dropping 3 episodes off rip. It's weird. We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into that in a second, because that's definitely to talk about. Let's see. That too depends on the situation. Speed Blitz could be a knockout. Don't have to kill her. That's very true, Ronnie. But hey, listen, I got a question for y'all. Are y'all tired of the same old voices in your feed? If so, I need y'all to tap in to what's called the Indie Prime Time. If y'all don't know what it is, let me tell you, right? It's a powerhouse collective of your favorite indie and blurred podcasts that have joined forces to bring you the freshest takes on everything from underground gems to mainstream madness. I'm talking comics, culture, commentary, all unfiltered. Whether you're deep in the indie trenches or you're vibing with the blurred elite like us here, the real level sevens, right? We got your next binge. So what I have to say is follow the movement, plug into the convo, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You know what? Let me just show y'all what the Indie Primetime has to offer. And when we come back, we'll get into the reckoning matchup. What do you say? What do you think about that, Triage?
Sounds great.
All right.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms, where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define now, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. A merry band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can't relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
All right, and we are back again. Please definitely check out the Indie Primetime. Every single person on that list, every single show got something for you. I promise you. From Lady Mandalore over at Room Full of Blurs. Again, let's see. She'll be going tomorrow at 7 p.m. as well as we'll be going 7 p.m. Pick and choose. You can choose to watch us, choose to watch her. But just tap in, tune into us after you watch her, tune into her after you watch us, or you know what? Just have both streams going at the same time. Have one tab for her, one tab for us, and then we both rocking. That it is what it is from. And now we got indie breakdown to blurred's eye view to Melanin Minds. Oh my God, we got so much coming for y'all all week. Tune in. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. What do you think about that, Triage?
Listen, if you want a grade A lineup or where you can find some shit you can truly geek out at and express your creativity the way ours flows, jump on.
Jump on. All right. So now this one I was interested. I'm real interested in this one. Real interesting man. I want to see how this fight goes. I want to see how this battle goes. So next matchup is the Reckoning matchup, and we have Zillah versus Zuriel. So I'm interested in do this. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look here. So again, this is I'm so far out of all the art that we've seen, this right here, this is so clean. This is so clean, man. I don't know. There's just something about this look, this art style. I don't even know what it's called, but it's amazing. I feel like there's so much depth there, and it just exudes. I don't know. It feels like what's that new game? South of Midnight. It gives me South of Midnight vibes so hard, and I fucks with it so hard. So we got Zuriel. Trias, you had everything pulled up on your side there for the power stats?
Yes, I do.
Would you like to do the honors of breaking down Zillah?
Not a problem. Absolutely love the name, by the way.
Oh man, that name, oof, yes. She's an anti-hero, by the way. Oh, give me 1 sec. I'm sorry, I forgot. Let me at least go through her tier real quick. Let's go through her tier real quick. She is, was that a purple? Is that a purple? Or is that like a? I don't see any. Wait.
Tier. I don't even see her tier.
Oh, so her tier is the little dot up in the top corner of her face card.
But I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I is it tier 9? Is that tier 9? I think it looks like tier 9. Superhuman. Yeah. No, it has to be tier 9. There's nothing else that's that light. There's that light. So yeah, tier 9 superhuman. She is a 9A, capable of destroying a large room or apartment. All right. I'm just saying that looks like it. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay, yeah. So she is superhuman. She is a superhuman. But yeah, by all means, brother man, let's get into it.
So when it comes to her strength, she's currently sitting at a 4, which means she can lift up to 800 tons. Let's see, her intelligence is sitting at a 4, so she's gifted. No slouch. And then her speed sitting at a 3.
I think you're looking at Zuriel.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bugging right now.
Okay, we're already on it. Go, let's do it. We're already on it. We're already on it. We already there.
My fault.
Zuriel 8th.
Okay, and then let's see. Durability is a 4. Her agility is a 4. Energy projection is a 6. And her hand-to-hand is a 4.
Right.
Excuse me, a flight. I picked flight.
Yep. Yep. Her fight. Let's see. So what's that? That's sitting at. She moving at. She got regenerative property. So that means she can't be permanently injured. She's superhuman fast, dodging bullets at a distance, as well as energy projection at a 6, which gives her the ability to discharge multiple forms of energy. And that fight means she's an experienced fighter. Means she been in the trenches. She's been in the trenches. She's had quite a few squabbles in her time. She's had to squabble up quite a few times. So let's see here. Let's move on down. Oh, she's from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Oh,
What was that for?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, looking at her art though, again, look at this art. This art is not light either. This some heavy artwork right here as well. Some heavy artwork as well. But oh yeah, Zuriel as well. So her tier, she's sitting in that superhuman tier as well. But she is a 9B, which means she's capable of destroying a large wall. Okay, so let's see. So it looks like Zillah has her beat on that. Looks like Zillah has her beat in that aspect. She's destroying more than them walls. Hey, yo, okay.
That whoa,
whoa,
that sounds insane.
I said it, and then I didn't really think about it before I said it. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's roll with it, yeah. But West Philadelphia, born and raised, it looks like chilling in church is where she spent most of her days. She got demons coming out at her. She got some glowing revolvers, and with that crush, it looks like she got a battle axe on her back too. Let's see what this equipment working like. Let's see what this equipment is working. Oh, as seen an acolyte. Oh yes, she is a concrete production. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Cause she's she's in Acolyte's world. She's in Acolyte's world. We got concrete in here. We got Lonzo in here, or who? Yeah, concrete comments, but I know concrete got quite a few artists underneath their banner. So, but yeah, she got twin revolvers. She got a battle axe. Cry, ebony and ivory fills.
Yes, very, very right hand, left hand of doom type shit.
Yeah, I fucks with that. Magic manipulation, sorcery, and enchanted wings. Yes. So if somebody get Lonzo on the line. Somebody get Lonzo on the line. We definitely got to get Lonzo on the line because, yeah. Oh, should have been seen in Zuriel. Okay. So she is concrete, but her comic is Zuriel. All right, copy. Thank you, Tashi, and copy. All right. But again, I like her. Oh, Alonso's at a convention. Okay. All right. We move. Okay. I'm liking this character already. 35, 5'8". She my height. 135. She is light. She's light. All right. Let's see what Zillah working with. Let's see what Zillah got here. You want to break down Zillah?
Yep.
All right, let's get her done.
Let's see. Come on, don't be difficult. Okay. So Zillah's strength is sitting at a 3, which means she can lift twice her own body weight. Her intelligence is at a 4, which means she's gifted. Her speed is at a 3, superhuman. Her durability is a 6. Can withstand poison, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. Her agility is at a 6.
Oh,
Yep.
did not expect that.
Yeah, dodging light speed attacks. Her energy projections at a 4.
Medium range and range.
And then her hand-to-hand skills is at a 6. So mastery of several forms of combat.
Okay, so I feel like she's type balanced. She's type balanced. Definitely type balanced. And then
very counter puncher.
What is it?
I said very counter puncher.
Ooh, I agree. And then with that energy projection being at medium range and duration, let's see. I want to see what she can get at that with that 19. So Zuriel, she definitely got this. She has the age on her. 5'9". She got the height on her. Her equipment is leather belt buckles and straps.
Very S&M.
Hey, listen, man. I grew up in a black household. There's a lot you can do with a leather belt.
Okay. All right. Listen, if you want to be ASAP Rocky, talking about whips and chains and handcuffs with Rihanna, by all means, knock yourself out.
Sir, you cannot tell me. You cannot speak truthfully to me and tell me that you would not talk about whips and chains with Rihanna.
I would not. I'm not a Riri fan.
Oh, okay. We learned, just when you think you know in a brother. Let's see. All right. So let's take a moment with Zillah because we do have a video to run for Zillah. So we're gonna run that real quick, and we'll be right back after these messages from your favorite guy, Lloyd.
Zillah is a warrior trapped in Gehenna, a woman fueled by revenge, one who will let death slow her down. Zillah is trained in the art of Tachyon, and because of this training, has heightened senses, being able to sense an invisible demon and able to avoid and counter its attacks. Zillah also has the ability to absorb the powers of her previously defeated opponents to enhance her own abilities. Zillah, while alive, had the stamina and the skill to take on a group of armed men. Zillah is also durable enough to shrug off several attacks from several demons in Gehenna. So woe to those who would stand in the way of her resurrection, the woman who faces the trials of hell and vows to leave it in shambles to attain her resurrection. All right, let us know who you think can stand up to these characters here in the Indieverses, and check out the interview with the creator on our weekly Indie Breakdown episodes, now on Patreon and Spotify. If you want us to break down your character, or fill the form out on our website, midnightcomics.org. And remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Okay. Wow. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And apparently Tashi is not happy about you not being a fan of Rihanna.
Okay.
Not happy at all. Me, on the other hand, I'm a fan of Rihanna just because my family has a connection with her. That's about it. And one, she's from Barbados. There's not many of us over here. And then two, the legend goes that my great grandmother babysat Rihanna when she was a kid. So the legend goes. My dad tells the story, but you can't always listen to the old heads, because the old heads sometimes we just be talking out their ass sometimes. So you can't trust them all the time. But again, that's the legend. All right. So that was a lot. We just learned there. So let's take a look here. Ooh, sorry, I got caught up on the leather belt buckles and straps, but let's take a look at what the powers are. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about the words. Hellforge absorbs powers and energy, manipulate personal accessories into weapons. Sounds a lot like my mama. I like the way for some reason, I don't know how, but that slipper was able to make a full 90-degree turn. Sounds about right to me. Oh man, so Zillah, she got it. She got a lot of work. She had her work cut out for her. All right, so what I want to do is I want to compare these power stats off rip. So strength wise, Zuriel has her by 1, sitting at a 4. Intelligence wise, they're matched up. Speed wise, they're matched up. Zillah's taking it on the endurance side, sitting at a 6, while Zuriel's sitting at a 4. Agility, again, Zillah's taking that 6, and while Zuriel's sitting at a 4. Energy projection, Zuriel's definitely taking that, with her 6 as opposed to Zillah's 4. And then fight ability, Zuriel might have to catch the hands. She might end up catching the hands because Zillah got her beat while sitting at a 6 with her sitting at a 4. So I'm interested to see the way this is gonna play out. What are you thinking? Just off of what we have here, what are you thinking? And again, we would also have to take into accountability. Unfortunately, we're not able to, because again, underneath that, there really wasn't much going on underneath the post besides just what everyone, who everyone thought was gonna win. So like literally everyone was just like, that Zuriel's gonna take it, or that Zillah's gonna take it. Wow, everyone's saying Zuriel. Everyone's calling out Zuriel for the win. So let's see if she would in fact win in this battle here. So with Zillah ever being able to manipulate personal objects into weapons, now I just wonder, is that like any kind of weapon? Weapon?
What does that mean exactly? Like, is that like a Richard B. Riddick thing? Like, whatever Riddick gets his hands on, he turns into a weapon. Like,
you know what? And that's a good question. Is it MacGyver? Like anything she picks up, like fucking John Wick with the pencil? You know what I mean? Or can she literally pick up, take off one of her, like a metal belt buckle, and then shape it into a sword? You know what I mean? And have it change forms into a sword. Yeah, so per indie breakdown, yes, any kind of weapon, she's able to morph it essentially. Oh, okay, yep, yeah. So she can take that belt off, whip it out into a sword, or make it into an actual full whip. Okay. So as long as she has clothes, she has weapons. Copy, understood. As long as she has clothes, she got weapons. And then that combined with that multiple forms of martial arts, man, she can easily take off one of those metal belt buckles, turn it into some brass knuckles around them hands, take the steel toe in her boot, turn it into knives. Now she run around with a blade in her foot like X-23.
Now, the question I'm going to ask though is this: is this like, this is kind of giving me like Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
Yes, exactly. The way Ed and Al work. Yep.
So it's like, because Ed was the Full Metal Alchemist because he usually performed alchemy on his limbs, but you see him do it on other shit also. So it's like, is her turning material into weapons limited to solely like all the clothing on her body, or does it have to be said material? For example, if she's fighting an enemy wearing a leather vest, could she take the vest and turn it into a bomb?
Oh.
Like,
I mean, I'd say for sake of argument, it says personal accessories, so I'd say it has to be like it has to belong to her.
But even then, like, so it's anything that's on her physical being. So yeah, so she could take prayer breeds and turn them into explosives.
Yep.
So all right, any personal item that's not. Yeah, I don't. That is a cool idea, but that's very limited to me.
Yeah, I think what it more so, I think what they're thinking of when it comes to this, and I think maybe it might be the wording on it that makes it a little makes it a little not, I don't want to say but makes it like hard to kind of like understand. It makes it sound limited. The wording makes it sound limited, but I think what they're going for is that she herself is a walking weapon. Everything that she has on her body is a walking weapon, you know, whether it be the metal accessories in her hair or the, you know, wood, whatever, like anything that's on her body, literally she can turn into any kind of weapon she wants. So it doesn't have to be something straight to turn it into a sword. You know what I'm saying? But again, also these, I mean, the cards also don't talk about the limitations of these heroes as well. That's something, the limitations of the heroes is definitely something that's probably more so explained in their respective books. But I mean, you see, the thing, it's interesting. Wow, hold on. Now I'm thinking that's really interesting because you say it's limiting, but to me, I see it as in a full armory. So explain to me, why do you see it as limited? Because that's interesting that we have like the complete opposite kind of like train of thought on that. So why do you say that it's limiting?
I'm sorry, say it again.
So it's interesting because like we have two different thought processes on that. Because you see it, you said you see it as limiting. Me, on the other hand, I see it as like a treasure trove. You know what I mean? I see it as the complete opposite of limiting. So I want to know, well, like, why do you see it as limiting?
Because like if it's personal items, it's just what's physically on you, or like whatever you consider to be a personal item. Like, don't get me wrong, if I'm in my apartment, everything that I own or I bought is a personal item of mine. So that's all right. But if we're in the middle of the desert, it's just whatever is physically on me. Opposed to now, if it was to turn anything into a weapon, like I said, that's why I was asking, is it more of an alchemist thing? Like, for example, you got Ed and Al and the way they did shit, opposed to like Mustang. Mustang had to use his gloves, snap his fingers, break the explosions.
There was no, not necessarily. It wasn't just his gloves. It was anything that he had the seal on. Because remember, his gloves got destroyed, and he had to etch the seal into the back of his hand.
But even then, that's still his specific form of alchemy. That's just that. Like I said, that's limiting. Opposed to Ed and Al and the way they did shit. Like, okay, you don't give Ed time to. If Ed doesn't want to use his limbs, he'll smack the ground and create a spear.
That's true. He's had some fire ass intros, like right? That.
You want to go close quarters? All right, you're about to get kicked in the face with a metal foot. Like, you know what I
mean? Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It might come down to creativity, but you just saying like, oh, everything that's personally on me is I can turn into a weapon. So okay, my wallet, my credit cards, any change. If I have a knife, you know, a fashion accessory like, you know, your laces or your belt. But I mean, that to me, that's like tactical military shit. That's no different from saying like soldiers say all the time, the AR is the tool, I'm the weapon. You know what I mean?
So for me, it takes a lot of heat into that last part you just said there. She is the weapon. So like, like Midnight, like the indie breakdown says right here, she died and ended up in Gehenna. And at the start of the story, that's all she has on her. It's just what she's wearing. So she's able to use anything that she's wearing. But again, I think it's how, like you said, how is that being used? Because again, as we can see, she has metal hair accessories. She has metal hoops in her clothing. Can't see the rest of her clothing, but then the clothing in general, you know, shred shards, you know, of anything that is hers, she can turn and create. Hell, I'm pretty sure if she was to, God forbid, have to cut off a lock, she could probably do that too, since that's a personal accessory at that point. Once it's cut off, it's an accessory. But I guess it's also what you consider as an accessory as well. What's considered an accessory? Because again, like I said, she can cut off, you know, she can cut off a lock and like tie it around her wrist, and now it's a bracelet. It's an accessory. So now she can use her lock and turn it into a weapon. So I'm in. Okay. But see, that's where I'm saying where like I'm on the opposite side of that, because her intelligence, she's sitting at a 4. I mean, she's gifted, which means she can, with time, she can put 2 and 2 together and figure out how to do some shit.
Well, that would come back to intelligence, wouldn't it?
Yeah, her intelligence, she's sitting at a 4. She's gifted.
Okay.
Yeah, so with some time, she could figure out how to do shit. And it, from what it sounds like, that within her story, she's in one of those like survival kind of situations. Like she's dropped into a world, she got isekai. I mean, she died and got isekai. She got dropped into this whole world that she has no clue what it is, where she is, and now she's 19, holding her own against all these demons as well. So, I mean, again, yeah, it's crazy. It really depends. I think it's that intelligence is what's going to make that power, that ability, really stand out. It could bring her the win, or it could definitely be detrimental and be definitely be an L for her. But now we also have this Hellforge ability as well, absorbs powers and energy. So she's in like essentially hell. It's like that world's version of hell. So that's gonna be that's pretty interesting. So what powers is she absorbing? So is she I believe the video that let's run the video back one more time, just so we make sure that I'm getting a full understanding of how her powers and abilities work. So I want to make sure I'm getting a full understanding of this. Let's run this back.
Zillah is a warrior trapped in Gehenna, a woman fueled by revenge, one who won't even let death slow her down. Zillah is trained in the art of Tachyon, and because of this training, has heightened senses, being able to sense an invisible demon and able to avoid and counter its attacks. Zillah also has the ability to absorb the powers of her previously defeated opponents to enhance her own abilities. Zillah, while alive, had the stamina and the skill to take on a group of armed men. Zillah is also several demons in Gehenna. So woe to those who would stand in the way of her resurrection, the woman who faces the trials of hell and vows to leave it in shambles to attain her resurrection. All right, let us know who you think can stand up to these characters here in the Indie Verses and
okay. All right. So yeah, so that power absorption is the ability to absorb the powers of her fallen enemies. So who knows? Honestly, yeah, who knows where her powers are at? So all right, so to the powers that be, if you are still watching, it says that this encounter is taking place in Oblivion. So are we talking like Oblivion from Elder Scrolls Oblivion, or like what Oblivion is it? Because again, I also think for this fight, the environment may prove to be a strong part of this. Because again, if we look at Zuriel over here, we look at her powers: magic manipulation, sorcery, enchanted wings. This is interesting. This is going to be really, really interesting. I wish we had a video about her that we can run through about her and learn more about these twin revolvers. Learn some more about the battle axe, Hope's Edge, and the Edge of Misery. I want to know more about these. I really want to know more about these. Unfortunately, Lonzo is at a convention, but this, because if they're in Oblivion is essentially a hellscape. All right, so Oblivion is from Absolver. It's essentially purgatory. All right, so they both in hell. They're both just chilling in hell. They're both chilling in hell here. Let's see. Okay. Funny enough, that's exactly what. Yeah. So Yeah, they both rocking in hell. It's interesting because even in Oblivion, that's exactly what Oblivion in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It's pretty much a purgatory hellscape. Okay, so I feel like with that's gonna put them on an even playing field, right? Because it clearly seems like Zuriel, she got time for demons. She got time to be handling demons. And the same thing goes for Zillah as well. She got time for demons. So how are these two going to stack up against each other? What are your thoughts so far based off of breaking down these two abilities?
Stats wise, they're really close, but I prefer it to be that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the magic manipulation and the sorcery, like with them being in a hellscape, is going to be I think is going to be the difference breaker in that fight.
No, absolutely. I definitely agree. I feel like that puts them both kind of in like a neutral zone because it essentially plays to both of their strengths when it comes to fighting demons. So then the other question, then it also begs the other question. It's something I gotta take a look at. Who's around in this hellscape? Are there other demons around? Are they just sitting back chilling, watching these two black women go at it? And being like, you know what, damn these humans, all this human on human crime.
Listen, they're black. They're not saying that word. They're not saying these humans.
But no, but they're demons. They're demons. They're demons.
That,
So
that,
they
that,
don't
that got something to do with it?
Yeah, it does. Demons don't
All right.
see black or white. They see human or non-human.
All right.
I'm just saying they see human and non-human. At least that's the way I would see it. So risk factor, there's no risk factors and there's no outside help. So they out here scrapping. All right, let's see here. So I don't know. That's man. I feel like there's a lot of options on the how they gonna fight here. I just wish I knew more about Zuriel's equipment, really. But again, all right, so now we got to look at this. So let's look at this equipment. Let's compare the equipments here.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, even though Zillah can make any weapon out of anything that she's wearing, she's still coming with two blickies and a battle axe.
Well, we also don't know what the extension of the blickies is because, all right, even if she's turning a necklace into a bunch of projectiles, it don't matter if she can shoot them shits out the air.
Exactly. You know, and I'm just saying, even if you turn your belt buckle into a sword, she got magic blickies, bro. She got magic blickies. I'm pretty sure she's probably able to control the trajectory of the bullets coming out the blicks too.
I mean, that's it. That's if they even are bullets. I mean, this could be some Vash or Stampede type shit. Them shits turn to full on cannons.
That's very true. Let's see. If we were to run the scenario, we would use the story that's going to take place in Gehenna. There's a tournament to win their resurrection and return to the real world. Yu Yu Hakusho?
Great show.
Absolutely great show. Tashi races demons. Absolutely races as demons.
I mean, I'm saying we've all seen the way things play out. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see. Zillah would have more training. All right. So, okay. So we're seeing that Zillah has Yu kinda. So yeah, kind of like the Yu Hakusho. All right. This is I'm gonna say this is type difficult on this one because we don't have all the information up front at hand. But now, if we're going based off of all right, boom, what are they each bringing to the fight? What are they bringing to the fight? All right, so we got 2 revolvers and a battle axe for 1. Pretty sure the battle axe is also magic as well. What names like Hope's Edge and Edge of Misery? I believe like, so is it the revolvers that are named Hope's Edge and Edge of Misery, or it's the battle axe with one side of the axe is Hope's Edge and the other side is the Edge of Misery? Because honestly, I think that idea is pretty damn cool. If each side of the battle axe has a different name and does a different thing, like the Tenseiga versus the Tenseiga, that would be sick. That'll be sick.
Yeah. And I didn't even think about that. So no, that is a very good point. And then versus so where are they at battle powers wise? So
As in like their fight.
So no, yeah, hand to hand.
So Zuriel's at a 4 and Zillah's at a 6. So Zillah, she's sitting at multiple forms of combat, where 4 is an experienced fighter. So I'd say, yeah. So it seems like Zuriel's been scrapping in the streets.
But I also take Miss Faith as someone who's more blunt force, opposed to Zillah, who's more finesse.
Yeah, I'm be honest. I get from Miss Faith here. I get we just the Werewolf by Night. What's her name? The female main character. I forget her name. Bloodstorm or something like that. Yeah, Bloodstrom. I'm getting that vibe from her, like Jessica Jones vibes from her, like, you know, like
very blunt object.
Yeah, like if you put John Constant, a female John Constantine with a battle axe. Oh, you know, Dante. A female Dante.
Yeah.
A female Dante from Dante's Inferno. That's what I'm getting from this. So yeah, it's the name of the guns. The name of the guns. That's still definitely Dante vibes, Ebony and Ivory. Again, if you guys have not seen Devil May Cry on Netflix, go check it out. It's pretty solid. Even for somebody who's not a fan, it's pretty solid. So there's magic manipulation, sorcery, and enchanted wings. So she has flight. Sorcery. Seeing Doctor Strange type levels of sorcery, or maybe the ability, like I said, of John Constantine with, you know, he knows spells and he can do magic. You know what I mean? But her magic projection is sitting at a 6, which means, you know, she has the ability to discharge multiple forms of energy. So it's probably, so I'm pretty sure it's kind of like John Constantine style. He knows magic and he can use magic. Okay. He himself is not magic, but he knows some shit and can do some shit because he done been places and done things that no mere mortal should ever be doing and or seeing. This one's tight. This one's definitely tight. Zuriel. The Hellforce being able to absorb that power. So is the revolvers shooting actual bullets, or are they shooting spirit bullets, like spirit gun style? Like is it energy or is it a physical projectile? That's the other thing too, because then at that point she got infinite ammo. Well, if she has infinite ammo, then what's the point of having a revolver?
Revolvers are more accurate. Revolvers have more power.
No, that's true. But I was just thinking as like ammo wise, because it's like you got a revolver, you either got a 6-shooter, but like what you reloading, you ain't got to reload you ain't got to reload it. But there's a possibility that they're just artifacts themselves, that, you know, she's not giving them the magic ability. They themselves are magical, and they have that magical property of not needing to be reloaded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So, yeah, she seems like she's a character that runs with magic objects. So I'm pretty sure that battle axe is also enchanted. It already said she has enchanted wings, so she has that flight ability. So now the question is, I want to know what does Zillah have? What does Zillah have? That can counter that flight. Now she really don't have anything that counter that flight unless she creates a whip. I can see her creating a whip, latching out and pulling her down.
But flight attacks come back down to creativity. Like it don't matter if she can fly. All that does is create distance between the two of them. And it's like if she can't attack from that distance, which she can with the pistols, okay, that's fine. But the question is, like we just had the argument before, like can she hit her?
No, absolutely.
And she's got her speed wise.
No, they're matched on speed 3-3.
Oh no, I'm looking at agility. My fault.
Yeah. Well, yeah, agility. You're right. Yeah, agility. Yeah, she definitely has her match in agility. What she sees a 6, so she's dodging light speed, right?
Yeah, she got her beat in agility and durability.
And from that video, I'm pretty sure in one of those panels, we saw Zillah running up the tree. She's in the trees, running up the trees. So I'm pretty sure as she's dodging these bullets, she's closing that gap. She's taking these trees and she's running up these trees. Oblivion does have trees. Well, I don't know about Absolver's Oblivion. I don't know how that looks, but most depictions of Purgatory, there's some kind of like dead vegetation that resembles a tree.
Towers, fires, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I see. It sounds like we both leaning towards Zillah on right now. So honestly, yeah, it doesn't. So again, she can also close that. She herself can probably make a gun herself. She can probably make guns herself. I
mean, well, like I said, that's why I asked, like, what was the limitation of the whole thing with her using personal weapons? Because it's like, if anything that's on her person is a weapon, so basically anything that has weight that she can throw, she can turn into a projectile. So it's like, is this like Bullseye with the whole thing with him spitting the tooth through the guard's head?
Well, I feel like, all right, she may be able to turn it into a weapon, but it's about being able to use that weapon as well. And I think that's where that 6 for the fight comes in.
But okay, that's just as far as like hand-to-hand stuff. That doesn't say like projectiles and everything else, because using a knife like a K-bar is not the same as you using a katana.
But remember that 6 is for fight is master of several forms of martial arts. There's multiple forms of martial arts that are centered around using weapons and projectiles as weapons as well. Look at ninjutsu. Look at the way of the shinobi. They're proficient in throwing knives, throwing stars, and throwing projectiles. That's one form. So again, I guess it comes down to what are the forms, like we had in the last episode. What forms? Because I believe she knew Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Krav Maga.
Yeah.
So now it's like, all right. So what forms of martial arts? What forms of combat does she know? Because then that would bring into how she uses her abilities and what weapons she uses. Because it makes no sense for her to, create a katana if she's not trained in using a katana. You know what I'm saying? If she's never shot a gun in her life, it makes no sense for her to create a pistol. Then her aim's gonna be off. She's not gonna know how to shoot the damn thing or use the damn thing. So,
but that's also one of the things that we talk about. We talk about battle about the not battle. What's what
battle IQ? Yeah,
we talk about battle IQ, and it's like that's one of those things like where it's still a bit of a gray area. Like, all right, mastery of several forms of armed and unarmed combat. It's like, all right, like is that weapons? Is that firearms? Because all right, like you just said, she might have never shot a gun in her life, but it's like if she's got like military training, then she could shoot like John Wick. Like you never know.
Exactly. So I guess that also goes into the backstory. So who was Zillah before she died? You know what I mean? What was her living life like? What was she doing in life? Was she military? Was she, trained in other forms? Like, what is her background? Because again, that's going to play into how she uses that ability and what weapons she creates. Because for all intents and purposes, if she really could create 2 blades, then with those blades, create whips that attach to those blades, and now she's running around here like fucking Kratos with Chains of Olympus.
Or like she could go full Sindel and like use her hair.
Exactly. Remember, I was saying, but again, it states accessory. That's why I specifically said if she cut a lock and turned the lock into a bracelet, because then that lock becomes that hair. Now it's an accessory. It's a bracelet now. So now she can then use that. You know what I mean? But no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, that battle IQ makes a lot of sense. But it sounds like, from what Tashi had said, Zillah has more trainings than Miss Faith here. So, and again, you also gotta remember she's also trapped within a hellscape in a constant survival mode. So I would say she'd be able to really to think in, oh well, here's the other question. Here's a new question. She's a master of 7 forms of martial arts. Did she get that training in Gehenna, or did she die with that training? You know what I'm saying? Is it something that she just learned going through that hellscape, or is that something she went into the hellscape knowing? Because that's very different. It's not too different, but I feel like it does make a difference. So I'm interested in that, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Zillah. As it sounds, I'm definitely leaning towards Zillah, but I feel like it would have to get into a moment of, but again, we got to talk about this magic use though. We got to talk about this magic use, because this is important. We're just talking about weapons and stuff. This magic use does, again, she has enchanted wings, but then she also has a big ass battle axe. Now she's in the air with a big ass battle axe. Forget about the revolvers. She's in the air with a big ass battle axe. She's dive attacks. She's diving a backline like a fucking grandmaster fucking Iron Fist in Marvel Rivals. She's diving. There's no
Iron Fist is a DPS, but it's more of a Captain America thing, or a Venom. But no, I hear what you're saying. But
he still be diving the back line. He may be DPS, but he diving that back line. How many times have you? Well, you don't really play support. I play more support, but I'd be back there struggling with that goddamn Iron Fist. So do not tell me he don't dive the back line. He dives. He be diving.
But okay, all right. So how does the battle? But that goes back to the axe itself. Like, is the axe heavy? Does it hinder her weight? Does she move not fast or slow? Like, how does that work? Is she nimble in the air? Like, all right, so if she's not agile, which she's not more agile than her, if anything, her being in the air is going to transition more, because now she's got her wings, which might be magical, but that gives her more of a target.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in the air, all I have to do is take out your wings, and now you're falling to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, once again, she's not more durable than her, and she's not more agile than her. So her going into the air, all that might just make her as a sitting duck.
Let's see. Multiple forms, able to discharge multiple forms of energy. So,
especially with that.
Yeah, that tying into that. Yeah, that's Zuriel. So that tying back into her magic manipulation and sorcery. I'm pretty sure that falls along the same line as yeah. Why you trigger the rivals PTSD? Seriously, I'd be freaking out. Because I'm main Punisher, so I'm not really that good. But no, yeah. So she was a lifelong practitioner and knew well before she died. All right, so Zillah. All right, so she's going in to Gehenna as a force to be reckoned with. So she's a lifelong practitioner as opposed to, damn, I don't know. I really wish I had more explanation on Zuriel's magic and sorcery. What kind of sorcery is it? Is it light magic? Is it dark magic? Is it Doctor Strange's type of sorcery where he's lended the power from other magical and powerful beings? Is it Dresden Files? Like Dresden Files, or that's a really great show. If you never watched the Dresden Files, really great show. They dropped the ball. It got canceled after I think the second season or mid-second season. I don't know, but it was a great ass show. I'm interested. There was another sorcerer I was thinking of too. Oh, and Constantine. Yeah, Dresden Files sustained Constantine with a hockey stick.
Sorry, got a big phone over here.
That's all right. It's just a representation of the world. I don't know, man. I think this magic manipulation, if we knew more about this magic manipulation, her magical powers, her magical prowess in general, which she's at a 6 with it. So she's at a 6 with it, while Zillah's sitting at a 4 with it.
But yeah, because that's one of the things like I asked, like, yo, what does that entail? Because magic is that's like energy manipulation. That's such a broad spectrum. Is it chaos magic? Is it black magic? Is it elemental magic? Is it spiritual? Is it the powers of the divine? Like that's not really specific enough. So it's like, if anything, that could be the tipping scale in the fight, especially considering where they are. Because if the area itself already has a magical resonancy or frequency, and she can tap into that.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's really where I'm at right now, too. That's exactly where I'm at right now. Because I feel like this magic, her magic at a 6 can be a very big turning point for her. Not to mention it's not really going to do too much to say this, but I'll say this. She's 35 as well. As opposed to her 19. And damn, now I'm really thinking about it. She died at 19. That's pretty damn sad. And she's currently fighting for her right to be resurrected. So that's pretty interesting. The energy projection. Now I feel like if Zuriel is able to keep that distance with her wings and using revolvers, and then tying her magic manipulation and her sorcery tied into those revolvers, she could again it's magic manipulation. Even if it is a projectile, she can fire a bullet and then control the trajectory of the bullet. So as long as she can see Zillah, she can hit Zillah.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, yep, you're right, because now that goes into that agility with Zillah sitting at a 6, which that is she's moving, she's dodging light speed attacks.
I
don't know okay, so what are you thinking thus far off of this? Like what where are you at with this battle?
So from what I'm hearing, there's not much that Miss Faith is stacked and so is Zillah, but there's no real offense that I think she's going to get to because we don't know what the axe and the pistols do. Like, for example, if she say like the axe has a whole thing like where you got the good side and the bad side, like say the bad side destroys or chips away at your soul while the good side can heal you.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's Sega to Sega.
Right? So she might not even need to make contact with her to wound her or kill her. Or the whole thing with the bullets. Like, for example, if she just has to wear her down with shots and she's dodging them and nipping and zipping past them like Neo in the Matrix, but she curses the bullets to the point where all they have to do is graze her, get close to her, and they're sucking off her life force.
Hey, yo. Copy.
At some point in time, her energy reserves are gonna get down to 0. But it's also one of those things like where I'm only gonna duck and dodge for so long before I go on the offensive.
Yeah, and Zillah definitely seems like she has the offense.
And she has the reason to fight.
Absolutely. And there we go. And there it is right there. She has the reason and the drive to fight. I feel like Zuriel will walk into this fight as, oh, just another demon that I got to take out. But Zillah walking into the fight is like, all right, another person that's standing between me and my right to live.
And that's another thing. Like, yo, I got sent to hell.
At 19, I'm angry. Let's see. Like, I wish I could remember the sorcery she could do because that would be dangerous. Definitely. She been around the block in comparison to Zillah. She definitely has. You know, she's been through it. She's been through it. Let's see. I think she been fighting demons for a minute too. Okay, so they're stacked in that part. Zuriel. All right. Okay. Hold on. Now this is an important plot point. Zuriel's looking for her son. So while one's looking for her child, a mother looking for her child. All right, that's dangerous alone. And now we got a mother looking for the child, and then we have someone who's fighting to get back to the world that they were lost, gone too soon. Yeah, they're both on a mission. So they're not. So neither one of them are going to be holding back. Neither one of them going to be holding back. Both on a mission. So it's really going to come down to whose willpower kind of wins out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants it more, and how creative can they get with these powers and abilities? But that's what we're here to figure out. So we got one sitting at gifted, and well, they're both sitting at gifted, so they're both relatively smart. You know what I mean? They're smarter than an average Joe. So I can't say one wins out on the other. Strength wise, sitting at a 3. Strength wise, sitting at a 4. So she got her beat with the strength. What was that 4? Can lift 800 pounds to 25 tons. As opposed to twice her body weight. And I don't know if Zillah gets hit. Man, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna fucking hurt. So yeah, I know. Zuriel has her in that aspect of it. What was the other thing I was looking at? But no, never mind, because Zillah's sitting at a 6, which means not only can she withstand poison, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks, but she also has dense skin that can repel most weapons. That means she also has a regenerative healing factor as well. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Means she's difficult to permanently injure. Oof. Somebody's gonna knock somebody out.
But see, I see the difficult to permanently injured thing is that depends on what spectrum of fight are we talking about. Because, like I say, if we're talking very conventional, that's fine. Because a lot of comic book characters are not magic users. Even Kryptonians are invulnerable against magic. So it's like that's just like the last fight we just did, and now we had to take it to the fact that the one is wielding a weapon that's literally forged by a god, and then has the god's power being channeled through said weapon. So it's like,
I don't know, man. It's interesting because it's hard. It's difficult because the enemies that they fight are the same, right? They're both demons. I guess you would have to look at the caliber of those of said demons. You know what I mean? How strong Gehennian demons are as opposed to Absolver's Oblivion demons are. And we would have to rank it off of that as well. All right. Oh, Zillah wants revenge. Oh, okay. I thought it said that she was in a tournament trying to get her life back. But okay, she wants revenge. Shorty wants her son back. Damn. Some sad ass stories here. Damn, bro. I don't know. This really could sway either way. It literally comes down to that battle IQ. It really does. But apparently they're evenly matched, and they've both been at it for a minute. You know what I mean? They're both on a mission. You know, one does have more weapons than the other when you think about it. But all right, so think about this. The time it takes her to, what's the time frame it takes her to create that weapon? Does she touch it and it automatically becomes that weapon, or does she have to form it into that weapon? Because that's going to take from, nanoseconds to a whole second, you know what I mean? Or maybe a few seconds to make that transformation.
Would that matter if she's already faster?
So her movement ability, as opposed to, only way I can think about explaining this is frame rate and for video games. So the amount of time it takes a character to do one move. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, she'll be able to move fast, but being able to to use her power, let's say sorcery. Look at Strange. He can't just do magic off rip. He has hand movements he has to do to activate, like what activates these things. You know what I mean? So her activation of that power it's gonna take some type of time to manifest and form that weapon, as opposed to Zuriel, who she already got the axe out. She already got the blickies out. So by the time Zuriel has taken aim and it's already put that was it 5 pounds of pressure?
Yeah.
Put that 5 pound of pressure to that trigger there.
But in that same aspect,
Zillah's gonna have to have that sword.
Zillah could have closed the distance already.
But that's saying Zillah's gonna close the distance, but with what weapon? She gonna close that distance and throw her hands? That's what I'm saying. Zillah still has to take that time to control to create that weapon. Now you could say that she creates the weapon while she's moving.
But we're assuming that Zillah can only use her own weapons. Could Zillah run up to Faith, take her gun, and shoot her?
Yeah, but then you gotta listen. Somebody wielding dual pistols that are named, it's gonna be real goddamn hard to get that gun out their hand. That's like their primary. That's their primary weapon.
Listen, like that goes back to our Riddick Dread argument. But okay, here's a better one. If she blocks the barrels and she pulls the trigger, the gun now backfires.
I mean, yeah, if it's magic, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would still backfire too if it was magic. She would just get Zuriel would just get blasted with the magic. But again, Zillah would have to have that weapon out and ready by the time she would have to have that weapon created and close that gap by the time Zuriel pulls that trigger.
And here's the other thing too. Whatever weapon she creates, is she manipulating the material of the weapon?
That is a good point, because like she can pick up a leather belt. Is it like she picks up a leather belt, creates a sword, and now the sword's made out of leather? Or does she pick up a leather belt and then it transmutes into a metal sword.
Right.
That would be. I'm not gonna lie. That would be a little reaching for me. That would
Well,
be
no,
reaching a
because
little bit.
to me
I mean,
that would make sense. That maybe not so much that it's steel or diamond, but it's transmuted to like a denser or material or lighter material. Because, for example, if she's falling off a cliff and she takes off like her dress or skirt or top or whatever, could she turn into a parachute?
that's very true, because honestly, I like the fact that you brought up Full Metal Alchemist earlier, because that would be into transmutation. She takes a leather belt, transmutes it, and creates a metal sword. Because if I remember correctly, Ed thought he was the shit for the longest time because he was so proficient at such a young age, and he was able to transmute without a circle.
Right. And then
But
he
what we
other cats who were proficient.
No, go ahead.
I said then he meets other cats who are proficient in alchemy. Like you look at Alex Louise Armstrong and the way he did shit. Look at Scar. Scar made him look at shit through a completely new set of eyes. He was terrified.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Scar had him shook. But
Shit,
perfect. That leads right into it. What the second part I was gonna say. When Ed first started, he thought he was a shit until his nigga's weapon started getting snapped like a twig. And that's when he learns, he's like, oh, I may be transmuting and making more of this, but by making this rod longer into a sword. Yeah, I'm making it into a sword, but I'm not consciously controlling the density of it. So yeah, it looks like a sword, but it's gonna break because I didn't, I stretched the metal, but I didn't reinforce the metal.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? So he ended up having to learn how to not only, okay, you can transmute and change the shape and form of something, but you also have to be thinking more consciously about, when I change the shape and form of it, what is it going to become in the end? Because there's other factors that goes into it. Because people think, all right, they think alchemy, and they're like, oh, magic. No, alchemy is not magic. Alchemy is science. Alchemy is the true blend of science and air quote magic. Because as they say, magic is this science that we don't understand yet. So I'm interested. Can she take that leather belt and turn that leather belt into an iron sword?
Right? Because if that's the case, she could take her shoelaces or like a piece of string or one of her locks, remove it, snap it, turn into a string of wire, and now she just outspeeded her before she could draw her weapons and strangled her to death or took her head off.
Mm-hmm.
Could she use one of those things to cut through her weapons?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm leaning more towards
Zillah.
Zillah, excuse me.
Yeah, I am too, but I'm thinking that, I mean, I guess I also feel like when it comes to Zuriel, we have to really know more so about like how she uses her magic. You know what I mean? How is her sorcery used? What type of sorcery it is? What magic, like, because again, like I said, if she can manipulate the area, if the area that they're in is imbued with magic, that magic manipulation means she can manipulate the environment around Zillah. So not only will she have the distance advantage on her by being able to fly, but then she's also changing the environment around her opponent, which is throwing off her coordination, her orientation. Now she has to think more on the fly to dodge objects coming at her or finding another route to close the gap instead of it making it more of a maze and a straight shot to her. And then on top of having the long range attack with the twin revolvers, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to. I guess for me to weigh in more on Zuriel, I need to know more about her. I need to know the caliber of demons that she's fighting. I need to know how she fights as well. Is she ruthless, relentless, or is she thoughtful and calculated when she moves?
Because she gives off, because Faith gives off a very bruiser, gun ho, like, hack and slash mentality or character to me. Like, she's
Yeah.
very, I'm gonna use as many bullets as possible to the job done.
Yeah, I get Doom Guy, I get John Constantine, I get Serious Sam. You know what I mean? That's the vibe that I get from her. And by all means, everyone who's watching, please correct us by all means. But yeah, without knowing more about her and personality wise, because it seems like that is what will sway this in her, and in her way. Until then, I would have to give it to Zillah, because I feel like Zillah, you know what I mean, she's in the trenches of hell. She's in the trenches of hell. She's surviving she's surviving out there in hell. She has to think on her feet at all times. She not only that, now her power is amplified, because we don't know how many demons that she fought before she even got to this encounter. So we don't really have a power scale, of her going into this match. How many demons did she fight before she got there? Right. But if we're going for sake of argument, no, she's, dry off of demons. She hasn't absorbed any powers before getting into this match. For the sake of argument, that I still have to sway it in her favor, because I feel like she would have a higher level of creativity when it comes to this match and getting the job done. Because revenge is a very strong, I guess, revenge and redemption are two incredibly strong driving factors.
But the issue with that is that revenge can blind you.
It can. But now her revenge isn't towards Faith, Miss Faith. She sees Faith as, you're another obstacle in my way. And it seems like that's what they're both going to walk into this battle with, because with Zuriel trying to find her son, like, she's like, no, okay, you're just another obstacle in my way for me to get my son. And you're just another obstacle in my way for me to get my revenge and get back to the world of living. Bitch, move before I move you. Nah, bitch, you move before I move you. So I guess we just gonna be some moving bitches and let's get it shaken. You know what I'm saying? Part of my language for, anyways. Y'all know how we give it up here. I see that. I can definitely see that. And I feel like they both gonna be with the shits. They both gonna be scrapping. But I think Zillah is gonna have a more. I think Zillah's gonna have a more upper hand on this. And they're both anti-heroes. So to my understanding, they're not afraid to kill. They're not afraid to kill. They're both anti-heroes. They're not afraid to kill. They're gonna do whatever it is that they have to do to get the job done. So it does say here for Zillah that she's a martial artist forged in the fires of hell, as opposed to guardian of the dead and protector of Earth Realm. Oh shit! Might be in the next Mortal Kombat movie. Protector of Earth Realm, copy. Next Mortal Kombat movie, Zuriel Faith. That would be pretty cool. Actually, she looks like she'd be a character out of Mortal Kombat, bro. Not really thinking about it, looking at it. She definitely like she'd be a character in Mortal Kombat. I don't know. As of right now, I'm swaying towards Zillah. Everyone in the comments, let us know. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll definitely take a look. We're gonna take another quick break. Let's take a look at our Indie Primetime friends one more time before we head on out. We will come back with our final and definite answers on this, and then while we're gone, please drop in the comments who you guys think would win this battle between Zillah and Zuriel. Let's go.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically the sum made up like you define now. This crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. A merry band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
All right, and we are back. And again, if you are tired of those same old voices in your feed, definitely tap into the Indie Prime Time. We are a collective of your favorite indie and blurred podcasts. We have joined forces to bring you guys the freshest takes on everything from underground gems to the mainstream madness. We are comics, culture, commentary, all unfiltered. Whether you're deep in the indie trenches or vibing as a blurred elite like most of us here, we got your next bench. Follow the movement, plug into the convo. You guys already know what it is. Hashtag Indie Prime Time. You already know what it is, you guys. And of course, you definitely need to throw in that hashtag Podcasters of Color. Let them know there's a new PLC on the block. Let's get it. So, Zillah and Zuriel Faith. They both have stepped into this arena. They both have been, their power stats and their abilities have both been looked at thoroughly. You first, Triage. And why?
So I think just from the comprehension of what we have and what we've understood about their breakdowns of both individual characters from their weapons to what we know about their methods to their actual stats, I would say Zillah takes it.
Mm-hmm.
While Miss Faith is no slouch, I just wish I had a little bit more clarification on what it is she's bringing to the table as far as her magic, because I feel like that would have been the very big upset or defining trait in that fight.
Mm.
And we're always up for rematches if we get more clarification.
Oh no, absolutely, most definitely. Honestly, man, that was very, very well put. I would have to agree with you. I feel like, from the beginning, I just felt like Zillah was bringing more to the table. Again, with this alone, with them being able to manipulate her personal accessories into weapons, I feel like she already is a walk-in arsenal. Again, that also depending on fight IQ and battle IQ, which seems to already be pretty high, seeing as how she's trapped in a world and she's on like survival mode right now, like she's like full on isekai into a whole nother world. Well, I mean, she's dead, she's in hell, but you get what I mean. So I just feel like she's bringing more to the table for with the weapons wise, to absorb powers, but that Hell Force that's able to absorbing powers. It's stated that it's after she's defeated someone. That's so that power absorption is not really going to be able to play in too much right now, until she beats her, and then I feel like she has the durability, she has the agility, and then on top of that, she got the hands as well. I feel like these three things together here are doing a lot. On top of that, that superhuman speed. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're both match on that superhuman speed. Like, even though Zuriel may have the strength on her, she's got to touch her first.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to be able to get to her. Zuriel can most definitely make that distance and keep that range, between the range attacks as well as being able to get the high ground using her enchanted wings. But I feel like that's still not going to be able to get her the dub. Yeah, it may, give that distance, but now okay, cool, you can dodge, you can run, you can, do your best to not get hit. But at the end of the day, someone needs to win, somebody needs to lose. And at the end of the day, this comes down to who wants it more and who is more equipped to take it. I feel like Zuriel, she has a lot. It's just that wasn't able to be fully flushed out. I am 100% up for a rematch. Let's do next time Lonzo's free. Next time Lonzo's free, I definitely want to hear what he has to say and get his input as well. And I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna find this and I'm gonna read this because, again, like I said, I love the art style as well. They're matched in intelligence wise. They're both gifted, but again, that's just gifted. That's a step above. I feel like gifted is just, it's a step above like your normal everyday, kind of like, way of thinking. It's a step above. You're gifted. You can think better, better than most people. Right. That's somebody that has like a standard high IQ in general. But man, being able to, having that durability, pretty much with that dense skin, regenerative, healing factor, as well as immune to poisons, temperatures, concussive attacks, that gives her a lot of defense. Like, her defense level is pretty high, especially with that agility, moving at dodging light speed attacks. Zuriel's not going to be able to hit her. Zuriel's not going to be able to hit her. Zuriel attacking her would be like trying to punch Goku in Ultra Instinct. Mastered Ultra Instinct.
Fuck Goku.
I know. I agree. But yeah, that's you know what I mean? That's what it's gonna end up being. She's gonna be able to close that distance with her speed. Again, she's moving 700 miles per hour. Maxing out at 700 miles per hour. Like, do you know how fast like that is? Like, yeah, being able to move at 700 miles per hour. Let's say you're trying to you're able to move from your kitchen to your living room at 700 miles per hour. No one's gonna see you fucking move. Right? She's covering short distances in a blink of an eye.
I agree.
Like I'd have to do like the math breakdown, like if someone's moving, stereotypical school word problems, like if the train's moving at 700 miles per hour, which means they're moving 700 miles in 1 hour. How far did they travel if they traveled for a minute or 2 seconds? You know what I mean? I would have to do the math breakdown, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say that's really fucking fast to be moving from point A to point B. And again, especially if you're in a fight, like you're not that far apart from your opponent. Even if your opponent's up in the air, you're not that far apart from them. And in one of the pages and panels in the video that we have from Zillah, I did see her in the trees. So she's gonna close that distance. She's gonna climb them trees and close that distance. She's gonna turn her belt into a whip, and then just when she's gonna disappear into the brush of the trees, she's gonna literally whip Zuriel's ass with the whip, pull her down to the ground, close that distance. She gonna go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she's an anti-hero. She's not afraid to run her through. Oh wow, geez, we got mad comments in there. Sorry guys, I was breaking this down. So Spiff, as of right now, as of right now, we both are in agreement that Zillah is taking this. Right now, the previous Nexus match, Aegis won that as well. And it really seems like Zillah's gonna win. So looks like issue 1 for for Zuriel or Zillah. Let's see. Hope you're ready, Spiff. Because I think you have a match coming soon. I definitely want to see how your character wins his matchup. Let's see. Gehenna, you can get issues 1 through 6, plus a crossover issue 2. Bet. Spiff says, I got some feats I definitely want to show. That's in book 2 coming out soon. All right. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we are in agreement. Zillah takes this. Zillah takes the dub on this. And again, I definitely don't think it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because she also has to. Zuriel can keep her moving. You know what I mean? Keep her moving. At some point, Zillah's going to close that distance. Even then, if you look at tier wise, we're looking at 2 dots as opposed to that 1 dot. There was a decent difference between those two. And 9A is capable of destroying a large room or apartment, while 9B is capable of destroying a wall. Let's see, 9C is peak enhanced human, Olympic level. So Yeah, so Zillah is definitely at a higher superhuman tier than Zuriel. So, what do you guys think? Zuriel takes the win on this one. Any final thoughts on Triage?
No, it's like I said before. I was like, the only thing I wish I really had clarified a little bit more was the magic and the potential of the magic and the style of it. But other than that, and I know I said fuck Goku before. I'd also like to take a moment and say fuck Ultra Instinct.
Uh, Jesus. Okay. Wow. No. Yeah. No. For me, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I just wish I knew more about Zuriel's magic, as well as her sorcery. How to the extent what the extent of that is. Because again, I agree with you. That really, I feel like that would be a turning point for her, and really give her run her that upper hand. But as of right now, Xylas just bringing more to the table right now. 19-year-old taking out that 35-year-old real fast, I guess. But yeah, man, if you guys if you guys have any thoughts, any opinions, by all means, please drop them in the comments. We are the Super Breakdown. We are presenting to you your indie versus matchups. We love doing this. It's actually pretty fun. You work on your build your, take y'all time with your characters. Take y'all time. Flush out that backstory. But make sure you're making your character balance, or at least maybe a little bit on the give them a little bit of the upper hand. Because to be honest, like, it's hard to break down a character when the character can do anything and everything. You know what I mean? Balance your characters out. Make sure your characters are balanced out. Make sure that they're not too OP, because you're going to write yourself into a corner. Because now every villain that you create has to be 1 to 2 times stronger than your hero in order for your hero to have any kind of character development. You know what I mean? Whereas you got to make it difficult for your character. Give them that struggle, because if not, the readers, they're not going to build any kind of emotional connection to your character. You know what I mean? But they're not going to build any emotional connection. There's not going to be anything at stake, because you're like, oh well, he can warp reality. This man is reality, and you can't warp somebody who is. He gonna win. You know what I'm saying? It just like your readers no longer are on their edge of their seat, waiting to see how the battle turns out, waiting to see if their hero just came out on top in the end, if that Deus Ex Machina came in clutch. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time with your characters, make sure that they're balanced, because if not, you're gonna write yourself in a corner, and now you're end up in a Dragon Ball situation where now every character, every villain that shows up has to be ridiculously overpowered in order to even touch, let them look at the main character. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally have to have a character that is it. I don't know. Like, Marvel did that one time where they wrote themselves into a corner with Hydra Cap and had to write themselves out of it. And again, there's just so many places that are doing it, because they're just like, oh, overpower. I say, instead of looking at Dragon Ball Z for inspiration, I'd say look at My Hero Academia for inspiration. Because if you look at Deku, you're like, oh, but Deku has all these powers, and he can use them in unison and stuff like that. It's different because Deku can does still get his ass wiped across the floor. Because yes, he may have all these powers and this generational wealth of powers, but at the end of the day, he still has to know how to use the powers. He's still learning how to use the powers. He's going up against a villain who his predecessor couldn't even beat. There's stakes. There's shit at stake here. People's lives are at stake here. So if Deku doesn't pull his shit together and use his powers and unlock his powers to the full extent of his abilities, everybody dies. Just think about that as you guys are building your characters.
And like I said before, I'll say it again. Personality comes into play. Experience comes into play. There's a lot of things that come into play with a fight other than just stats and who's carrying what. Because just because someone can do something doesn't mean they will do something. And it's just because someone will do something doesn't mean that they wouldn't do something worse.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of discussions about energy-based characters as of late.
And psionics.
Mm-hmm.
Narrow. Yeah, thank you for me out. Yeah, narrow your character down a little bit. You know, instead of saying, "Oh, they can use magic," what kind of magic? What kind of magic are they using? You know, instead of saying psionics, what kind of psionics are they using? Are they telepathic? Are they telekinetic? You know what I mean? Instead of saying energy manipulation, what energy manipulation? How can they manipulate that energy? Oh yeah. Just in general, when it comes to manipulation, how is your character manipulating that energy? You know what I mean? Are they absorbing it in and redirecting it back? And if they are redirecting it back, is it at the same force it was taken in, or is it double 2 times, 10 times, whatever? You know what I mean? Or is it Gambit style? He manipulates energy, right? But the way he manipulates energy is that he taps into the potential kinetic energy of what the object that he touches. Right? So look at those small things. They seem small, but now when you get into a battle and now you got to explain well, they use magic. What kind of magic? Are they using elemental magic? Are they using light magic? Are they using dark magic? Are they using voodoo, Voodoo? Are they using chaos magic? Are they using green magic? Which doesn't get talked about enough. Are they using green magic?
Yes.
What narrow your character down, because then that makes your character. It sounds like you're limiting your character, but you're not. What you're doing is you're giving your character like a more specific skill set, which allows them to do certain specific things with their powers and abilities. You know what I mean? If your character controls green magic and you're on a planet that has vegetation, or your battles take place where there's vegetation, you now have the upper hand because you narrow down that your character uses green magic. Your character uses fire and magic, and you're fighting in a damn volcano. You win. You know what I'm saying? So take these things into account as you're working on your characters and you're building your characters. These were some awesome fights. Some awesome matchups. They're really fun to talk about. But yeah, that has been it. Definitely thank you guys for tuning in as we work together to remap, recreate, and redefine power scaling. Shout out to Lloyd. Shout out to all the creators of these amazing characters. It's been awesome. Please tune in tomorrow for the Super Breakdown for our show at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all major streaming platforms. We are continuing our Star Wars month as we talk about Asajj, right? Asajj Ventress. Yes, Asajj Ventress. And again, we are the dark side. So majority of what we talk about is, we are most definitely talking about a lot of the Sith and Sith Lords. So we will be going over Asajj Ventress. It's gonna be good. Man, I can't wait. I love what we're doing here. But with that being said, definitely tune in to us as well. Lady Mandalore would definitely be on as well tomorrow night, so check her out as well. You can bounce back and forth. We go for 2 hours. You already know what it is. Check out the Indie Prime Time as well for all your local and your favorite blurred and nerd and blackdom, love and indie, everything. Man, this is good. This is gonna be great. See you guys next time. See you guys next Saturday. Also tune in to the Indie versus Matchup Facebook page on Wednesdays for your Nexus matchup and Fridays for your Reckoning matchup. And then tune in Saturday, 5:30 right here for the breakdown and the matchups between them. So until then, as always, on the Super Breakdown, remember, fuck prep time, and thank you for tuning in.
Till next time.
What was that, sir?
I said, till next time. Fuck prep time.
Bitch, I'm